Hi, from Broman Field, welcome to tonight's broadcast of high school football as the Culpeper Media Network is back at Broman Field for the second week in a row. Steve Peacock, I'm Mark O'Connell, Johnny Krawchuk, the man behind the camera. Steve, it almost feels a little like deja vu to be back here on a Friday night. Feels good here. The weather's perfect. Last week, we got our first look at the Blue Devils this season. Tonight, they get their second look at the Fauquier Falcons because these two teams met earlier in the season, an abbreviated season, if you will, and Fauquier won 20-0. But I think kind of based on last week's performance against a talented John Hanley football team and the welcome addition of Riley Harrison back into the lineup, who knows? Maybe the Blue Devils can bridge that gap tonight.
Well, Marksville Saints hard to beat.
Ladies and gentlemen,
the same team 2 times in a row.
So
we're hoping that Culpeper can come out and give us the same effort that they gave Hanley last week. And if they can do that, they stand an excellent chance of winning the game tonight.
Fauquier 2-2 on the season. They had the advantage of having a bye week, and they played the Blue Devils, and I'm sure they saw them in action last week, so I know they'll be prepared. It seemed like the Blue Devils were just maybe just a little short last week, sort of worn down there at the end.
Well, that's what it was, Mark. They got worn down in the fourth quarter, and then Hanley's star players took over. Hats off to Hanley. They came back like a good team would, but also hats off to the Blue Devils, the way they played and the effort that was given last Friday night. And Coach Ford is hoping tonight they get that effort and more with Riley Harrison back. Who knows, like you said, could be a different outcome.
Well, you know, Fauquier quarterback is J.T. James Deal, who's the third of the Deal brothers to play quarterback at that position for Fauquier. I'll tell you what, he's really talented on both sides of the football, linebacker and quarterback. He's going to actually be a threat to throw it. He's also the team's leading rusher. So Coach Ford is well aware of the dual effect of James Deal.
Well, Joe Holland's going to have a big game on defense. If he's on a defensive end or outside linebacker position, somebody's going to have to check Deal and keep him confined between the hash marks. If they get him out, if he gets out on the outside, he's a definite threat to run or throw it or make a big play. So they just got to keep Fauquier's big play capability in check. If they can get a good ground game with Malachi Terrell and that way the offensive line's blocking, it could be a whole good ball game tonight.
All right, that'll be an interesting one to call. Looking forward to call the game with you here on the Culpeper Media Network. We'll take a break. We'll come back for tonight's kickoff between the homestanding Blue Devils and the visiting Falcons of Fauquier. Keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists, providing world-class treatments for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
All right, welcome to Broman Field. Mark O'Connell alongside Steve Peacock, Johnny Krawchuk. Up top, the press box behind the camera tonight. It won't be anywhere near as cold for Mr. Krawchuk tonight as it was last week, Steve. And the Blue Devils will be kicking off courtesy Joseph Holland. What a great game he had last week, a man of many duties. And, of course, there are a lot of players that stepped up as well. Tonight they play the Fauquier Falcons for the second time this season. And when they met previously, Fauquier had the shutout 20-0. But much has changed since then. And Fauquier had the bye week last week. And the Blue Devils should have gotten an injection of confidence from last week's game. Here's Joseph Holland. Whistle is blown. He will approach. Here's his kick. We are underway at Broman Field. A one-hopper to the return man there at the 10-yard line. Gets to the outside, picks up a block. And finally forced out of bounds near the 40-yard line.
And the Falcons will take over
there.
By number 6 yard line,
for
first and
Fauquier,
10.
Steve. That's Austin Fernandez. So we're going to see Fauquier on offense. And when you think about Fauquier and you think about offense, you got to start with JT Deal, James Deal, the quarterback.
Yeah, they've had a dynasty at that quarterback position with him and his two older brothers. But what we got to know, now it's a new ball game. Culpepper's already played them. They know what their tendencies are, and to see if they can put a good ball game like they did against Handley.
All right, here is Deal. He tosses it to Evan Jackson. And the Blue Devils do a good job of swarming to the football. Several players in there on the tackle, including number 55, Larry Williams.
And also number 4, Riley Harrison, Mark. We're going to be calling his name a lot on the defense tonight. As you said, he's coming back from concussion protocols, and you talked to Coach Ford and said he's going to primarily play a lot of defense tonight. So we'll expect to be calling his name. You will be all night long.
Riley Harrison, you got it. I mean, what a mainstay he is. And they missed him last week in a gallant effort, but lost to John Hanley. Here's James Deal. He's going to run this one. He looks for some running room. Doesn't find much, maybe a yard. And in on the tackle, again, is Riley Harrison. And he had some help as well. So Blue Devils right now in the first 2 plays looking with a nose for that football.
Yeah, and big Corey Hutchinson on that line. Mark, you've already talked about 55 up there, but also got 58 is in there, and Bracken Hibbert. They need to control that line of scrimmage from the defensive line standpoint and force Fauquier right now to another either a short run, and they have to force him to punt it.
All right, here is 3rd and 10, opening possession of the game. JT Deal, the quarterback, gets away from the first defender. Now he's going to throw. He's got a receiver caught for a first down yardage. That is Evan Jackson, primary receiver into Blue Devil territory, and a Falcon first down.
And Mark, on that play, really they had Deal in the backfield, but Harrison overran it. But what the defensive backs got to look in. They got to look back at and towards the quarterback and not, and also find their man they're supposed to be cover him. That he was just too wide open. That was too easy for Deal, catch and throw easily.
Nice play by the Falcons on 3rd and 10. They convert. They have it now in Blue Devil territory at the 37. That's Jackson in motion. This is Deal handing off to Khalil Kaiwu. And he's stacked up. Just looks like shy of right at the 35-yard line. So a pickup of 2 yards from the play.
And that's what Coach Ford was stressing, improvement from game 1 until now. And, those type of mistakes that he's not going to tolerate like that. You've got to be able to understand where the quarterback is and where your responsibility is as a defensive back covering your wide receiver.
2nd down and 7. Falcons opening drive here. They have it. 2nd and 7 at the Blue Devil 35. James Deal, the quarterback. He's going to throw. Quick strike, Jackson. Near sidelines. And we'll check the spot. We talked about this year the advantage of going live and how great it is, how good it feels to be live. And we can thank our live sponsor, Able Heating and Air, answering any and all your questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. Got an elusive paper. We'll find it, Stephen. All right. 3rd down and 1. This is trouble for the Falcons as the Blue Devils swarm all over the running back there, Khalil Kaiwu. And now we're going to have a 4th down and a decision for the Falcons here.
Well, Mark, they really attacked the football right there defensively and just swarmed and went to the football. So hopefully what we're going to have to do now is what is Fauquier going to do? Punting is not going to give him any much of an advantage where they are, so they're definitely going to try to go for it. But again, defensive backs have got to stay with their man.
So they go for it here on 4th down. Last time the Falcons run a 3rd and long, they converted. Can they do so on 4th down? Deal. Surveying the field, throws it, got a receiver. And he keeps it despite the efforts there of the Blue Devils, Anthony Marshall. And that was the receiver Austin Fernandez connecting for another Falcon first down, Steve.
I thought that, they had good coverage on that play, Mark. I thought the defensive back for Culpepper was going to get his hand in and knock it loose, but credit Hernandez for basically, keeping hold on to that football.
Mark it at the 22. Again, opening drive by the Falcons. They started on their own 35-yard line, and they have moved it now to the Blue Devil 22. No score, opening quarter. Misdirection, handoff here in the backfield, and making a good tackle on number 23 there was Larry Williams tackling Brandon Byers. His first carry of the night. Picked up about 3 yards. It brings up 2nd and 7. Clock is running, 7:24 to go. First quarter action. We are scoreless here at Brumman Field. This is the Blue Devils' next to last game, and their last game at home this season. They'll finish up this abbreviated season on the road in Loudoun County next week to a place I've never been yet, Steve. A place called Rock Ridge High School.
Rock Ridge.
Ball at the 19. 2nd and 7. Blue Devils show pressure. Here they come. That's Riley Harrison giving chase. And the ball carrier there, Kaiwu, eluded him and got inside the 15-yard line.
Now what do
brings up a 3rd and short.
3rd and short.
Mm-hmm.
Can the Blue Devils keep him on the end zone or keep him from picking up that first down? Maybe force a field goal attempt? We'll see right here. But they got to get pressure on Deal, just like they did on that previous one for 3rd down and knock him back for big yardage. But then you can't just let him come back and give up a big play.
And you have to keep in mind, this James Deal is a threat to run the ball himself. So you can throw it, you can pass it. He's got some weapons back there. This is 3rd and 2 from the 14-yard line. And this is a nice open field tackle, solo tackle, made by number 21, Darnell Henderson, on Kaiwu. And now 4th down coming up. And the Falcons have been here before, so I don't think they're going to panic. But pretty much have to convert unless we're to go for a field goal, which I don't think they're going to do.
No, I don't see the field goal unit coming on. But I would dial up pressure here, Mark. Dial it up and just see you can force Deal to make a mistake. Just don't let him be running around the pocket there. We'll see what the Blue Devils dial up right here on defense.
I think Deal can really hurt them with play action. That's where they have to really be on guard because they dropped Kaiwu for a 4-yard loss. It's 4th and 7. Here's Deal going back to work. Looking downfield, throws it short, got a receiver, end zone, touchdown, and he connects with Evan Jackson. And Steve, I don't see any penalty flags down. That was just James Deal orchestrating an impressive opening drive. They had a couple long conversions that really kept it going.
Well, they did, Mark, but again, that, not to pick on anybody, but right there, that was Joe Holland's fault. I mean, he didn't come to the ball. He saw this receiver cutting across his face across in that end zone. Deal is rolling out and being chased, and you got to be able to not look at that quarterback. Got to look at your man, and basically that was a mistake there on Joe Holland's part.
And this is Deal, the quarterback, now the place kicker. His kick is up and good. 7-0 our score in favor of the Falcons. They used about 6 minutes and 39 seconds on the opening drive. Johnny Krawchuk doing a good job. Has shown you that scoreboard. 5:21 to play. First quarter action, and it's 7-0 Falcons. Well, this broadcast is made possible by Found & Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. That's Found & Sons at 825-3530. And Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community at 547-3673. So James Deal is sort of like, it seems like every team, Steve, has a player that wears many hats for you. The kind of guy that a team just asks you to do so much for. James Deal's been that person for the Falcons. Joseph Holland showed us that last week for the Blue Devils.
Yep, he did. I mean, and don't want to dwell on it, but there, he's going to look for the end zone. You got to get up on that receiver, and he's running that roll option type pass.
Keep it on the ground. One hopper takes a knee at the 32-yard line. Was a Blue Devil return man there by Lou Kabidi. He also plays linebacker for this team. So we can see early on here, if the Blue Devils coming on with the offensive unit tonight for the first time, Steve, that number 4 is in the lineup. That means Riley Harrison. Last week, it was a lot of Malachi Terrell and Austin Lentz. I know we'll see those players, but I'm sure the Blue Devils welcome the return of Riley Harrison on both sides of the football.
Well, before our pregame, we thought he mainly was going to play defense, but Coach Ford's kind of crossed us up a little bit and put him in on offense.
I think, it just seems like the way it is that you've got to put your best athletes on the field all the time if you can. This is our first whistle. I think this is our first penalty flag of the game. It is. Yeah. False start against the Blue Devils will cost them 5 yards and push it back to the 27-yard line, where it will be 1st and 15. Again, opening quarter, Broman Field. Second meeting this season between the Blue Devils and Falcons. Falcons won the first one 20-0 up in Warrenton. And tonight here in Culpeper, the Blue Devils would like to exact some revenge. Right now they trail 7-0 because Fauquier scored on its opening possession. Sutherland handing off to the ball carrier Riley Harrison. Not much doing there. Bottled up rather quickly as several Falcons were in on the tackle, including Garrett Kramer. And second down coming up.
And again, I think, with this Fauquier team, they're not big, Mark. If you look across their defensive line, their front, they're not that big. Culpeper should be able to get some hats on them and push them back. And, that's where, maybe, like I said, they're trying to hit with quick counter plays up the middle. But then again, the strength of Fauquier is their linebacker play. So
right.
They need to get out on the edge.
All right, let's see what Bennett Sutherland and company here. They go back to Riley Harrison. Harrison did find a little bit of running room there as he got across the 30 out to about the 32. That's a gain of 5 yards. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 11.
That's where you want to get on the edge, or maybe a little screen pass right here, see if you can pick up the first down, because you got about 3rd and looks like they're going to say 3rd and 11.
Right. And when the Falcons had a 3rd and 10 in their opening possession, they were able to convert. Let's see if the Blue Devils can do so. They load up this left side. 3 receivers. They're going to throw. This one looks like it's almost picked off. Overthrew the intended receiver, who I believe was Anthony Marshall. And then the Falcons almost picked up the interception. Either way, the Blue Devils will turn it over on downs, and we'll see the punting team.
Yeah, because it looked like maybe 24 for the Blue Devils kind of stopped in that route, Mark. So, again, don't want to be busting everyone's chops, but they need to get in the game.
All right, Joseph Holland in to punt this one away, shy of the 20-yard line. And the lone safety back for Fauquier is Evan Jackson. Here is Holland's kick. It's a good one. It's high. Let's check the bounce on it. And it's going to roll out of bounds at about the 45-yard line of Fauquier. So, Steve, as the Falcons come back onto the field for their second series, they'll feel pretty good about excellent field position starting at their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, that was a 30-yard punt, Mark, not one of Holland's best. And, again, Culpeper's got to understand that, you're not going to be able to overpower most teams, but go out there and play hard, play discipline. And right now that first series is a little bit lacking in discipline area, especially when they had that false start to begin the series.
I want to go back to Holland's punting here momentarily. This is Deal handing off Dylan Taylor. Taylor, his first carry, and it's a good one. He is Blue Devil territory down about the 42-yard line, pick up of 10 yards of the play. We'll make that 12 yards, yeah, and the line of scrimmage now the 42. I was going to say Joseph Holland punted very well last week, but often the benefactor of some tremendous rolls to the Blue Devils' favor.
Yeah, I mean,
that's part of it.
That's true.
Just didn't get it on this first punt. All right, 1st and 10 now, Falcons at the Blue Devil 42-yard line. Clock running, 3:20 to go. First quarter action, 7-0, Fauquier. And this time the running back, Dylan Taylor, his second carry. They stop him near the line of scrimmage. Several players in on the tackle for the Blue Devils, including big number 75, Corey Hutcherson.
And Mark, again, we know the Blue Devils aren't going to make the abbreviated playoffs, and it's been a messed up year. So basically, I agree with what you said. These kids right now are really doing a tryout and playing for a position for the Blue Devils next fall. So they got, just go out here and play hard.
Yeah, what Coach Ford talked about in the evaluation process. Here's an open receiver who makes the catch, picks up positive yardage. That was John Beinecker on the reception, and Steve, he was wide open.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're just giving too much of a cushion. And again, Deal is he's not a big kid, Mark, but he's accurate with his arm. He's a scrappy kid, tough kid, and he will, take advantage. And right now, if you're going to give a wide receiver Fauquier 8 to 10 yard cushion, you can march all the way down the field with short passes.
Yeah, and Deal, I think, probably comes from that good lineage as we talked about. And he decides to keep it, and he breaks the first tackle, spins his way forward to about the 15, where he took a pretty good hit there from the linebacker by Lou Kabidi. Mark it at the 15, picked up 6 yards, 2nd and 4, clock ticking, 2:15 to go. First quarter action. This broadcast made possible by Cash Imprints, from shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. 2nd down and 4. Falcons from the Blue Devil 15 they go. Here come the Blue Devils in some pressure. They hand it off. Running back straight ahead, just shy of the 10-yard line. I believe this was number 4 again. That's Dylan Taylor. So they've used him in this second series, Taylor. And he did pick up a first down. They have it at the 10-yard line where it'll be 1st and goal.
Mark, it's like this. It's like you got to have, pride, and you want to play hard. We know it's been a difficult year, but again, the defense is just giving up too many gaps and too much cushion for this Fauquier Falcon team.
Taylor again, nothing doing. Joseph Holland and again Larry Williams combined on the tackle there. So the Blue Devils will have to really come up big here in this red zone, try to at least hold the Falcons to a field goal attempt.
I agree with you, Morgan. Holland played great on that play, and we're going to need that intensity every play. And you're going to have to, I think, down here, you got to bring some blitzes and keep Deal honest. But if you just let him stand back there, he will pick you apart.
2nd and goal now from the 12. Empty backfield for James Deal this time. He's going to keep it all the way. Comes to the near side. Makes a move. Gets to the 10. Forced out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. We'll check the spot. It's going to bring up 3rd and goal, it looks like now, from the 10-yard line. So they held him to a 3-yard gain.
And that's a good play there, Mark. I was just going to give kudos to the defense where they strung it out.
Mm-hmm.
And Deal couldn't make the turn upfield. And so they strung it out. Yeah, and then the sideline became that extra defender. Good play there. Good way to play and good hustle by the Blue Devils.
So it's 3rd and goal now from the 10-yard line for the Falcons. They lead 7-0. Knocking on the door to try to increase their lead with 43.6 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock here in the first quarter. Here's Deal on 3rd down. Here comes a little bit of pressure. Still rolling. Throws to the end zone. Unable to bring it in was a leaping receiver by the name of John Beinecker. Now we'll have 4th down. It looks like the field goal unit may be coming on, Steve.
Yeah, but they're going to try to get 3 points, and you know what? Hats off to the Blue Devil defense. They tightened up, stiffened up, and wouldn't let Fauquier get more points in that red zone. Great red zone defense that time by the Blue Devils.
All right, so they're going to mark this at the 16-yard line. So this would be or spot it rather. So this will be a 26-yard field goal attempt by James Deal, the quarterback. And the kick is long enough, and it's good. With 32 seconds showing in the first quarter, James Deal connects from 26 yards out to make it 10-0 in favor of the visiting Falcons. All right, Steve, got to get you back in the game. How do we do it? Who can do it? Culpeper Medical Center. It's home to UVA orthopedic specialists providing world-class treatment for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. That's Culpeper Medical Center. And how about Copperfish and Time Market? Whether it's wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. Now you're looking at the Blue Devil cheerleaders, Steve. Last week they would have been cold. Tonight it feels good here.
I'm glad the field dried out too. We had a very windy day during the afternoon this morning after that rain last night. So field got dried out. Yeah, it's very nice, comfortable evening, in the upper 60s right now.
Malachi Terrell is the deepest of the return men for Culpeper. And here is Deal's kickoff to keep it on the ground. Terrell gets under it near the 15-yard line. Coming near side, gets a block, lowers his shoulder, gets across the 35-yard line. Decent field position now for the Blue Devils, Steve, on their second series. They were not the beneficiaries of good field position the first time, were they? Well, actually, they were on their own 32, but they weren't able to do anything with it. Now they'll start from their own 36. We've got 25.8 seconds showing. Do you think we'll see Malachi Terrell much in the backfield?
Well, he looks like he's going back, but Mark, we had a penalty in that play, a block in the back against Culpeper. The infraction occurred on the 20-yard line. So what decent field position they have is now gone for naught. But again, I think it's crucial here that during this drive, that Culpeper drives down the field, makes Fauquier work for it, and see if they can get something on the boards.
They start in a hole here at their own 10-yard line, do the Blue Devils. And so we're asking about Malachi Terrell, and the answer is yes. He will, and he is in the backfield right now behind Bennett Sutherland. From the 10-yard line go the Blue Devils, and Malachi Terrell gets the call over the left side, and that hole closed pretty quickly. Coming up to make the tackle is number 12, James Deal. So whether he's playing quarterback or kicking field goals or whatever else, don't forget he's also going to play some defense for you and put the pads on you. Final seconds kicking off here, Steve.
Yep.
Counting here at Roman Field. And it's official. We've played one quarter where it's Falcons 10, Blue Devils nothing. We'll take a break and come back for the second quarter after this. Stay tuned. You're watching Blue Devils football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists, providing world-class treatments for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
At Roman Field, which finds the Blue Devils in a 10-0 deficit and deep in their own territory on this possession to start things. Malachi Terrell, the ball carrier straight ahead, got out to the 15-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down and 5, I believe, from that spot. So, what do you think of the first quarter, Steve? In essence, for our viewing audience, those who may have missed that.
It was all Fauquier. I mean, we gave them good field position. We only had one penalty, but it's just playing soft defense at times and allowed Fauquier to come down and score. 3rd
down and 5. Bennett Sutherland, he's got Riley Harrison there on the side. Harrison's going to block. Here's Sutherland looking downfield.
Looking for a man.
Incomplete. Overthrew the intended receiver, Joseph Holland.
For that ball.
And it'll bring up 4th down, and Joseph Holland will switch positions from receiver to puncher.
And again, Bennett Sutherland was late with the throw mark, but he's a freshman. We're going to have, our viewing audience got to understand he's going to make freshman mistakes, but he's only going to get better from here on out. And as the game goes on, he got more comfortable last week against Hanley. Started out kind of shaky, but settled down, and then Culpeper started getting into a groove. They need to find that groove they had last Friday.
Exactly. Joseph Holland will punt this one away from near the goal line. It's a good snap. Here's his kick. They need a good one from him, and it is a good one. Getting under it is Evan Jackson near the 40-yard line, 45, midfield. Tries to reverse his direction. Here's a player who won't let go, and making the tackle with a nice takedown is Cameron Lacey. Speaking of Lacey, he had an interception last week against John Hanley.
Again, I think defensively now, if I was Coach Ford, let's be aggressive. What do you got to lose? I mean, by playing soft, you're just allowing Fauquier to methodically move down the field. Take some chances, some gambles on defense, shoot the gaps, blitz some of the linebackers, put pressure on Deal, and have somebody else beat you besides James Deal.
Well, Fauquier will start this drive at midfield. They lead 10-0. There's a penalty here, so they won't start from the 50. They're going to start from, it looks like, the 35. Was this a personal foul?
Yep. Maybe a late block.
On the personal foul, backs him up to the 35-yard line. With 11 minutes remaining.
Well, we talked about
-10.
just how penalties will hurt you. And we talked about going live this year, where our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. Falcons back on offense, leading 10-0. Start this drive now from their own 35. Khalil Kaiwu, the ball carrier, tries to get to the edge and gets to the 40. That's where he's pushed back. Be a 5-yard gain.
And good, the Culpeper does a good team tackle. Everyone's swarming to the football. They just need to play that intensely every play to this game. And I know what happened like last week against Hanley. They did get worn down, Mark, but they had Hanley on the ropes, and I think they can do that against Fauquier. Faukier's 2-2, and it's a big rivalry. The next county over, Culpeper's got to start standing up in defense and maybe, like I said, take some chances and see if they can come up with a turnover.
All right, here is 2nd and 5 for the Falcons. They got a receiver both sides. A couple players in the backfield. An H-back, a tailback. Here's Deal. Going to air this one out long. We got a little bit of contact out there. We've got a reception inside the Blue Devil 30-yard line. It is number 6, Austin Fernandez. And that's not his first catch of the night. He's come up big for this team. Steve, the coverage was there. One-on-one coverage, really. It looked like it was Anthony Marshall defending, and it looked like Fernandez maybe wanted the ball more.
Yeah, look, exactly right, Mark. He just hit it right on the head. He wanted the ball more. And he didn't look back to find the football. But you got to give the advantage to the receiver, because the receiver knows where he's going. The D-back doesn't. But again, it was good coverage, but he just turned too late to find the football.
34 yards on the reception. Falcons now have it. Blue Devils show pressure. Here they come. Handoff, left side. Losing his helmet in the process was Khalil Kaiwu, as making the tackle, a big number 99, Deontay Ford. And he'll have to go to the sidelines right after losing his helmet.
I don't like that rule, Mark. I really don't. I don't know what it does.
I don't either.
I mean, if he's lost his helmet to tackle, it's already that he's in had a dangerous play. I don't know what it's. I'm just trying to look at the logic of it. You know what I mean?
Well, if you figure it out, let me know.
Well.
Limited him that time to 3 yards. 2nd down and 7. 9 minutes to play. Clock moving. 2nd quarter. Falcons 10. Blue Devils nothing. Blue Devils show pressure. Deal going to keep it. Not going to have much to do. That time they run out of running room at the 20, like near the 25-yard line. That would mean he lost a couple of yards.
And see, Mark, and I've already picked up a tendency in what Deal's doing, is when he's running, he doesn't lower his shoulder to try to get extra yards. He kind of turns himself so he can, cushion the blow. Well, if you're a defender, you know that's coming. You need to be like a laser from that linebacker spot and putting the helmet on there, and might be able to draw the ball loose. At least, hey, if you're going to come in again, you're going to get smacked.
And he did lose a couple yards. It's from 2nd and 7. It's now 3rd and 9. And the Falcons have converted on 3rd down in this game. But we have a whistle and stoppage before this play can get going.
False start goes against the Falcons.
Yeah, it's going against
That's 5 yards.
False start.
They'll push it back to the 30-yard line and bring up 3rd and 14. All right, let's do a community shout-out, Steve.
Let's do it.
Name somebody in the community who you know comes up to you and says, hey, I listen to you guys broadcast. I like tuning in to the Blue Devils and Cyclones. Who comes to mind?
Dave Richardson.
Yeah, Dave Richardson.
Big Dave.
And he's sort of the faithful one.
He is.
Yeah. All right. We'll do that again because I wanted to mention someone as well. And there are other people, of course, just don't have time to mention everyone, but it's nice to give a shout-out. Here's Deal. Avoids the pressure. First time. Avoids another tackler. James Deal, proving hard to tackle, but he only got to the 25-yard line. So after all that running, he actually picked up 5 yards. It's going to bring up 4th and 9.
And Mark, I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missed tackles where they could have brought him down for a loss. Again, Deal's not that he's scrappy. He's not a big kid. He's either incredibly strong or we're just poor tackling.
Well, you know what? I don't know how strong he is, but the one adjective that Coach Ford used to describe him, and he emphasized it, was the word tough.
Yep. Tough, hard-nosed kid, and I think that's what Coach Ford wants on his team. Right now, you got Riley Harrison and Joe Holland and Malachi Terrell and a few others that fit that bill.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to get a whole team of those.
All right, here is 4th down and 9. Falcons. James Deal. Little play action. Now he throws it back this side to Khalil Kaiwu. And the Blue Devils were waiting for him nicely. They tackle him in the group. Shy of the 20-yard line. Shy of the first down. And now a turnover on downs back to the Blue Devils, Steve. And that was a good stop by the Culpeper defense. They sort of needed that shot in the arm.
Yeah, that was a momentum changer possibly, Mark. They needed it. They could not afford to have Fauquier go down and score here. So now what they got to do is see if they can put some plays together. I mean, you got 6 minutes, 39 seconds to go right now in the second quarter, and they're only down 10-0. So we'll see.
And the Blue Devils will start on their own 23. Joseph Holland in the backfield with Malachi Terrell, and we have a whistle and stoppage.
And I'm going to say the center caused that, Mark. He hesitated on concerning the ball, and that cost him 5 yards right there. That was just a miscue there by the center. He moved the ball, and you can only move it a little bit. You can't move it like pick your body up. So, false start.
Well, let's try to pick out some of those players for the Blue Devils front as we can, Steve. We've got 1st and 15. Culpeper has it on its 18-yard line. Malachi Terrell runs into a stone wall, and about 5 or 6 white jerseys combined for the tackle.
Mark, you said about maybe Fauquier trying to do play action. I think play action could work here with Malachi Terrell because when you see Fauquier, as soon as that ball snap, they're all going. They're crashing that line down hard, trying to get to Terrell. Because either that or they've got to figure a way how to bounce outside and get away from that pressure.
Now, Riley Harrison and Joseph Holland in the backfield with quarterback Bennett Sutherland. They got a receiver both sides. And Sutherland going to throw. This one's short. I don't think he was able to unleash that the way he wanted to. Pass was intended for Anthony Marshall, incomplete. And it brings up 3rd and long, 3rd and 14 to be exact.
Mark, instead of throwing it, he was aiming it. And when you aim it like that, you're going to throw it short every time. He needs to step into it, trust his arm, trust his receiver will get that football. But again, he'll learn that. He's only a freshman. He'll learn that as it's going on. But again, don't try to short arm, try to aim it. Step into the ball.
All right, 5:50 to play in the second quarter. Clock is stopped with the incomplete pass. Falcons up 10-0. Blue Devils have 3rd and long. They'll set up the screen for Riley Harrison. 25, 30, lowers his shoulder, 35, and that'll be a first down for the Blue Devils. Steve, I think he had to get to the 33, and he got to the 35. Good effort by Riley Harrison.
Mark, good play call, too, by the coaching staff. Screen is perfectly set up there, and good execution by Bennett Sutherland, the quarterback.
All right, we've got a timeout taken by the Blue Devils. Well, our timeout sponsor this year is CFC Farm and Home Center. Hometown service since 1932. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. And we're live this year for the first time, and our live sponsor, Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. So I was asking about a community shout-out a moment ago, Steve. You mentioned the legendary Dave Richardson. And I've got one I'd like to shout out to. A fellow by the name of Todd Amos.
Good choice.
Yeah. Listening to the games. I've had a chance to meet his two sons. One of them, Nathan, first team all-district selection in basketball this year.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, how about that? I think you're going to hear good things from him.
Maybe you'd like to get him on the football team.
Yeah, that should... Well, you talked about the numbers out here tonight, Steve. There were a lot of players not suited up. What did you count for the Blue Devils? Was it about 27 players?
27 or 28 players, Mark.
Yeah.
So, and that's a disadvantage when you look at Eastern View and they'll dress out 70. And
so it's sort of your gallant 27, isn't it?
That's right.
Terrell lost a yard. It's 2nd and 11 for Culpeper from its own 34. And they go back to Terrell. He's looking for some running room. Gets to the 40, then spins his way to about the 43. Nice run. That's, by my calculations, that's 9 yards, and it's 3rd and 2. That did not look like a 9-yard run, but it turned out that way.
And Mark, he come up a little gimpy. He's not running with the same type of energy and toughness as he ran against Hanley. He might be a little banged up, and that could be explaining that.
Two receivers to the left, and at the bottom of your screen is Eli Williams. 3rd and 2. Will it be Riley Harrison? It will be Riley Harrison. He's got nowhere to go as the Falcons drop him for a loss back at the 41. He lost 2, and that'll bring up 4th down and 4.
Decision making here, Mark. Do you punt it or you go for it?
I think you have to punt it. You're still in the first half. You're only down 10-0. You don't want to go for it, not get it, and then give the Falcons great field position. You got a punter like Joe Holland. Hopefully you can get a good roll, but they don't think they're listening to me at all unless they're trying to draw them all sides here on 4th and 2. It is a long snap count by Bennett Southern. There is movement, and it could work against the Falcons. I was looking at the linebacker there, Luke Thomas, number 5, may have been the guilty culprit.
Yeah. It's like 52 got called.
So, hey, how about credit to the center, and how about credit to Bennett Sutherland for the play count?
Yep, good hard count. And center will know when he sees that guy move in there, snap that ball. And or move it, and exactly what happened.
I mean, I think it's sort of fundamental to say that if you're a defender, there's no need for you to move until you see the ball move.
That's right. I mean, that's football 101. You know, watch the football.
But
don't watch the man. Don't go on the voice. Watch the football.
Well, it's first and with the 5-yard penalty. It's 1st and 10 now for Culpeper at its own 46. Clock, we're down to under 4 minutes, 3:55 to play, 2nd quarter action. Falcons 10, Blue Devils nothing. Bennett Sutherland has Riley Harrison behind him. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Riley Harrison gets the ball. Straight ahead he goes. You know, he's looking a little like Mike Allstott there.
You love some Allstott.
I did like Mike Allstott. You're in good hands with Allstott.
Good.
Yeah. How many people remember him from the past?
No, he was one of the Tampa Bay Bucks, wasn't he?
He was on that Super Bowl champions Tampa Bay team. Riley Harrison, this time going to try the outside. Won't be able to do it. There's a penalty flag down as the solo tackle was made by Garrett Kramer. Fauquier.
The call is
goes against the Blue Devils.
So it is against the Blue Devils?
Yep.
All right.
It's going to be a holding call.
Well, you know, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Fountain Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Fountain Sons at 825-3530. 3:14 to go. Here in the 2nd quarter. Big penalty there, Steve. Pushes it back to the Culpeper 43-yard line. It was at the Fauquier 47, where it was 1st and 10. Now it's 2nd and 14. Malachi Terrell alongside Bennett Sutherland. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the left. Sutherland going to throw. This one batted down, incomplete. Making the play was Austin Fernandez. He's made some catches on offense, and there he is defensively breaking up a pass intended for Anthony Marshall.
Well, Marshall needs to come back to the football, Mark. Don't allow that defensive back to jump in front of you like that. You need to step in front of him and get that football, but it was like too passive right there. And I know that drives the coaching staff nuts. You see that ball coming to you, you know your quarterback's under pressure, come to the football.
3rd and 14 now from the 43. Malachi Terrell gets the nod. And he's only going to get just past the 45. 46-yard line will be the spot. He picked up 3 yards. It's 4th and 11 in an obvious punting situation for Culpeper, who trails 10-0 here late in the second quarter at Roman Field. And again, this is Culpeper's last home game of the season. They'll finish the season closeout next week against Rock Ridge, home of the
Falcons?
Nope, Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Yeah. Next week, one of those Loudoun County schools that came into existence just a few years ago. Hollins kicks a good one, and Jackson gets under it at the 10-yard line, 15-20, out to the 25 or so.
Well, Mark, I remember back when John Champ, they're only like 6, 7 years old school now. Now they're Division 6. So how much they've grown. And, so Rock Ridge, you don't expect them to be a small school for very long. I guarantee you that.
That's true. They're just busting at the seams up there, aren't they? Seems like there's a new school that pops up about every, 2 years?
Every 2 years.
Fauquier, maybe its worst field position tonight, starting this drive from its own 26. They lead 10-0 late in the first half. We've got a touchdown pass from James Deal. He's also added a 26-yard field goal, and that gets us up to date on scoring. He pump fakes, then he throws long. Got a receiver open midfield, and pushed out of bounds is number 10, John Beinecker. So James Deal, his receiver, Steve, having quite a bit of success going to the air.
It's going to be a coming back, Mark, holding against the Falcons on that. So the Blues caught a break. But what I was going to say, for the defender, that ball was hanging up in the air for so long, and the receiver just standing there. And instead of what we're doing, he was getting ready to make the play. Our defender then stops, and basically just let the wide receiver from Fauquier get the ball. He needed to make a play in that ball, and he didn't do it. But again, and look what happens. Fauquier comes down with the reception. Again, that will come as they work and play more, but, it's hard to see a wounded duck like that. If I was back there, you'd go in the football.
Well, they mark it off, and brings up 1st and 21 for Fauquier now at the 14-yard line. And in the backfield is Dylan Taylor behind quarterback James Deal. Taylor does get the carry. And into the big arms there to wrap him up was number 77, James Jeffries, making the tackle for Culpeper.
James made a big play right there now.
So are they congratulating him or separating him?
Separating him.
Okay.
He was a little upset over something.
Yeah.
He needs to calm down, and the ref is even telling him.
Yeah. His players recognized and intervened, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to, the coaching staff's going to burn him out.
Well, he did make the tackle. I just don't know what he did afterwards.
There's probably some unpleasantries said, and maybe a poking in the eye. Questioned his manhood.
Picked up 2 yards only. 2nd down and 19. 1:03, clock ticking. Here comes pressure. Deal eludes it. Pump fakes, eludes another tackler, lowers his shoulder, and gets back the lost yardage. Is going to bring up a 3rd down, and perhaps a manageable 3rd down here for James Deal. Let's check the spot, Steve. Looks like 26.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't put it down yet.
Well, Mark, Deal just did his best imitation of Russell Wilson.
25-yard line.
He got out of that. Riley Harrison was beaten down on, but Harrison needs to break him down a little bit. Deal just sidestepped him, and then he went around and picked up positive yardage.
Well, the reason I said manageable because it's 3rd and 10. And remember, the opening drive, they had a 3rd and 10. They converted big time. Let's see if the Blue Devils can stop them this time as James Deal throws. And even had that one been caught, he would have been well shy of the first down, the intended receiver, John Bineker. And that means the punting unit for Fauquier. And I think Evan Taylor, make that Evan Jackson, is handling that duty. He is, number 3 for Fauquier. You know, he's a free safety, he's a wide receiver, and he's a punter. So, big contributor for Fauquier, standing in his own 10.
I'd have the punt block on if I were Culper, and they didn't.
It's a high kick. Let's check the bounce. Blue Devils say get away from it. And this is going to roll favorably for the Blue Devils because they're going to down it right at the 50, meaning midfield.
They got 40 seconds. What do you think they should dial up, Mark?
You could do Riley Harrison on a screen. How about Joseph Holland over the middle?
Joseph Holland on a post towards the end zone.
Well, and how many timeouts do the Blue Devils have? Is it 2?
Looks like they've got 2.
So, 40 seconds, maybe 2 timeouts. That's half the field to work with. They need a score of some sort. Obviously, they would prefer a touchdown. Riley Harrison was going to be the ball carrier until the whistle blew to say all sides Fauquier. They'll take the 5 yards and didn't have to burn any seconds to do it.
No, he didn't. And Fauquier was offsides, but why didn't they let the play continue? If you call offsides, you still wouldn't have a free play?
Well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Unless he had contact with somebody. I don't know. I didn't see it.
All right. 1st and 5. Blue Devils at the Falcon 45. They do go to Riley Harrison. He picks up a block from Joseph Holland. 40, 35, dragged down at the 34. That's a pickup of 11 yards and a Blue Devil first down.
You got to hurry up, Mark. Yeah.
Marked at the 33. So give him 12 yards on the play. Has anyone called timeout? No. Now they will. It'll be called by the Blue Devils. I believe that's their second. So they'll take their second timeout with 30.4 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. It'll be 1st and 10 when the Blue Devils come back from the Falcon 33. So our timeout sponsor this year is CFC Farm and Home Center, hometown service since 1932. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. All right, and of course our broadcast brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive is a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community at 547-3673. And Steve, these days, when I think about Battlefield Automotive, I think of one of our all-time favorite Blue Devils who's out there working.
Jeremy Bailey.
Yeah, if you were playing Jeopardy, you would have said, who is Jeremy Bailey?
That's right.
And I said, yes, select again, Steve. He is out there, and we wish him well. A lot of good memories from those days with Bailey and his teammates.
Yeah, it's still fresh in my mind.
All right, after the timeout, 1st and 10. Malachi Terrell back there now. He gets the carry, nowhere to go. Bottled up really nicely. Good open field tackle. Kobe Link, number 8. And now you're down to 19 seconds and counting. I'm not sure about the timeout situation. I thought they had one remaining. He'll spike it to down it and kill the clock with 12.3 seconds showing.
Now, what you dial up here in your playbook, Mark, 12 seconds. This is where I think you need to come up with some fancy play, like a end around or a hook and ladder or something.
Well, here's what I'm thinking.
Or just throw it in the end zone.
Well, you could do that. Here's what I'm thinking. If you have one timeout left, can you go to maybe someone like Holland, get maybe to 25 or 20? Set him up for a field goal. You had a 41-yarder last week?
Yeah, you got 12 seconds, though. You don't have a lot of time.
You're thinking bigger than I am, though.
Yeah.
All right, Steve always likes to go for the goal. Yeah. All right, here comes the pressure. He's going to watch out. Sutherland throws it. It's caught by Holland at the 22. And the complete pass will stop the clock, Steve. That's a pickup of 11 yards.
Now we should go for the field goal and try to test Holland's range right here.
Well, let's say they did. They'll be on the right hash mark from 22, add 7 for the spot, 29. and 10 for the end zone will be a 39-yard field goal.
He kicked a 41 last
That's
year.
so I was going to say. Yeah, you're right. Right in his, certainly within his range.
Well, I had a little wind aided there last week too, but we'll see. I'm trying to find out where the flag's going. Well, the flag's blowing to his back, so he's not going against the wind. Yeah, they're going for it too, Mark.
Yeah, they are going to set it up. Well, the holder there is Austin Lentz, and the spot would be the 29, 35, 30, 29. So this will be a 39-yard field goal attempt. So again, Austin Lentz, the holder, and we talked about a 41-yarder last week. Let's see if it can hold up here, as this kick is certainly long enough, and it is good. The Blue Devils are on the scoreboard. 39-yard field goal by Joseph Holland, and the Blue Devils have their first points of the night. It is 10-3, Steve, with 2.4 seconds showing here in the first half.
Hey, Mark, that's a good kick, good hold and everything. And Joe Holland knocked it through. Now he's 2 for 2 on his field goal attempts, and like I said, he's got a preferred walk-on position at UVA next fall as a punter. And if the coaches can see him now he's kicking a field goal, again, that just adds to his repertoire.
Well, you think about, look, if the Blue Devils were down 21-0, field goal would be not worth much.
Right.
But you're down 10-0, that's 2 scores. Now you got it down to 1 score.
Exactly.
The field goal is very important. And, of course, of field goals, James Dill has kicked one tonight for his team as well. And they were leading 10-0 before Joseph Holland connects from 39 yards out. So we have 2.4 seconds showing here in the first half. Likely time for this kickoff and nothing else. Perhaps one play, depending on how this unfolds. And Culpeper kicked off to start the first half, so we'll get the ball here to start the second.
Holland needs to kick it into the end zone.
And he's got the leg to do so. And Jackson watches it go out of the end zone for the touchback.
Mark, I'm impressed with his leg.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think UVA needs him as a punter. They need him as a kicker.
Well, I don't know. Can you, at a college level, you feel you can't do both, can you?
No, it's hard because, you get punter to get hurt or anything like that, especially on if they're trying to run it back and your punter's the only way to, make the tackle. I mean, that can happen as a kickoff as well. I get that, but.
I look for James Deal to take a knee here and send the teams to the locker room with Fauquier on top, 10-3. He does that, and the clock has expired. We've played one half here at Broman Field, where our score is Falcons 10, Blue Devils 3. We'll take a break for the intermission, and we'll see you for the third quarter kickoff. Stay tuned. You're watching Blue Devils football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists, providing world-class treatments for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
Congratulations to everyone, and one last round of applause for homecoming king Riley Harrison and homecoming queen Mia Pacheco.
All right, welcome back to our broadcast. It's halftime here at Broman Field and the homecoming court festivities. You are looking at homecoming king Riley Harrison, homecoming queen Mia Pacheco. Congratulations. So as they enjoy their crowning moment, Steve, we've got a couple of minutes before the third quarter begins. Intermission has us with Fauquier up 10-3. Anybody's game as we start the second half, and of course the Blue Devils will be receiving the football. Any observations or your take on both teams from that first half?
Well, Mark, it was good that Blue Devils got 3 points to get them back within one possession of the back in this football game. And so now at halftime, Coach Ford and staff just got to tell the boys, look, I mean, to be honest with you, I think Hanley's a better football team. And look what they showed against Hanley. Fauquier's just, you got to get pressure on Deal. And it's the old adverb, you cut the head off the snake, the body will die. And exactly what the Blues got to do. They have got to put pressure on Deal and make him uncomfortable back there in the quarterback spot. They can do that in the second half, and then also then maintain their poise and put together a couple good plays in a drive. They're back in this football game, and they get the ball to start the second half.
Well, they sure do. Talking about James Deal, the quarterback, and he's talking about putting pressure on him. I know there were times when they tried, but they found Deal to be sort of an elusive figure back there, and there were times when it looked like they had him within their grasp, only for him to get away.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be able to pull him down with your arm. You're going to have to wrap him up, put a helmet on him, and bring him down. The other thing is you can't allow him to sit there, roll out, and throw like a wounded duck ball in the air, and then the receiver's standing there waiting for it like he's going to catch a punt, and we're not putting any pressure on him. We're not putting any pressure on the defensive. From our defensive back should be going hawking the ball. We're not doing that.
Well, so there were a few times then when Fauquier had 3rd and long or even 4th and long, and they were able to convert. That it seemed like the receivers, as you said, they were open, they waited on the ball, and were you suggesting that the defensive backs were not aggressive enough?
Well, I don't know what it is, Mark. They're not finding the football. If you're a DB, you've got to be responsible as your man in your guard, and then you got to make sure he doesn't get behind you. But when that ball's thrown in your direction in the air like that, then you can make a play in the ball, but you shouldn't just stand there and watch the wide receiver catch the football. I mean, that to me is really where it's really I think the Blue Devils had a couple breakdowns there on defense. You've got to be able to go after that football and just don't let Deal put you in and give him anything that, in other words, they're giving him these long passes, and then once you do that, what's going to happen? Fauquier then's going to run it into the end zone just like they did, because Deal can run it too. But you got to make sure you put pressure from your defensive ends, blitz some linebackers, don't let Deal get on the edge.
And you can also kick it. He's got a field goal in tonight's game, and he's just teed the ball up to kick off to the Blue Devils here momentarily as we're about to start this third quarter of action at Roman Field. And the siren goes off to signal that we're ready. Deal looks across the way at the officials. They say go, and here's his approach, his kick. Keeps it on the ground. High hopper fielded. Cameron Lacey, and Lacey with the return keeps the legs churning out to the 40-yard line. The Blue Devils will take that anytime. I guess they were trying to avoid kicking to Malachi Terrell.
Yeah.
And then here you have Cameron Lacey making them pay for it.
Yeah, they don't want to give him an opportunity running back deep. But now I think the Blue Devils, Mark, they got to show some mettle here on their offense. They've got to be able to put together a drive or hit a big play, get him in the end zone. And use your big boys up front. You're outmanning them by at least 30 or 40 pounds a man.
Malachi Terrell checks in late, but he gets in there in time. Two receivers to the near side. Bennett Sutherland has Malachi Terrell behind him. 1st and 10 from the 40. First play of this third quarter from scrimmage. And a takedown tackle made by number 12. Who's that? James Deal.
Does he wrestle too?
I don't know. I don't think so, but that was a good-looking takedown.
Yeah, like he shot and does that one-legged take
Single leg. Picked him up off the ground. Did not slam him, though, which would have been inappropriate. No gain. 2nd and 10 from the 40. 10-3 our score here in the opening minute of this third quarter at Broman Field. And the Blue Devils send 2 receivers to each side. Malachi Terrell will get the carry. He's going to look to bounce out of that pack. Nothing doing. They trip him up near the line of scrimmage.
Looking for yardage there, nowhere to go. Brought down.
And Mark, I just think Terrell Malachi is a little bit slow this week. He was a workhorse last week.
Mm-hmm.
He got banged around. I think he's just a little bit sore right now, and he's not running, with the same vigor that he had against Hanley.
Well, what about that long run he had last week for touchdown? That came off that left side.
Yeah.
He tried this one off the right. Well, last week they really opened up a huge hole for him on that left side. Here's 3rd down and 9 from the 41. Over the middle, incomplete. Throw it a little bit behind the intended receiver, Alex Lowe. And the Blue Devils are now, will go with the 3 and out. And Joseph Holland and the punting team will come on.
And Coach Ford is a little frustrated with that because, again, Bennett Sutherland's locked into one receiver, Mark. He should have gone down his transgressions all the way down. The number 1 looked like he was covered, but he had 2 wide out over here and just, play his reads and throw to the right receiver.
All right, Joseph Holland standing at 25. We'll kick it from the 30. Evan Jackson back.
Good hang time there for the Blue Devils.
It's good hang time. They're going to down it at the Fauquier 33. So that's a 37-yard punt by
34, and that's where the Falcons will have it.
Joseph Holland.
1st and 10 Falcons.
This broadcast brought to you in part
in the third quarter, Falcons lead.
by Copperfish and Time Market. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. All right, Fauquier on offense for the first time here in the third quarter. 10:17 to play. 10-3 Falcons. James Deal and company will start from their own 33. Deal going to throw it. Going to throw it short. It's Fernandez out there. Lowers his shoulder and got about 8 yards.
Darnell Henderson and Cam Lacey there to make the stop.
Number 6 was, that's right, Austin Fernandez. Pretty good first half for Fauquier, Steve.
He did. But again, Mark, that play took a long time to develop for Fauquier, but we're either like a step slow, not getting into the football, and I see Coach Ford standing all the way down here by himself. He's got to be frustrated because it's like Culpeper's, running in quicksand.
2nd and short. Deal. Here comes some pressure. Runs away from it. Throws. Had a receiver. Just couldn't hang on near midfield. That was Austin Fernandez again, and that would have been a sure reception and a first down, and his first drop of the night, and he knows it, and I'm sure would like to have that moment back.
He would. And again, they had it, he was wide open. But again, where's the pressure? Again, like I said, at halftime, make Deal feel uncomfortable. I just don't see it right now with the defense. And the defensive line is doing their job, but the linebackers are just like a couple steps slow.
So 3rd and short, opportunities here, options really for James Deal, although here comes the Blue Devils with pressure, and they call the blitz. Falling forward to the line of scrimmage was the running back. They had him trapped a little bit behind the line of scrimmage, but they were still able to hold him for no gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. And the biggest fellow and the last guy to get up from that pile up was big number 77, James Jeffries.
And again, this was a good play by the defense. They were in there, they challenged, and they pressured, and they were able to come up with a big play. Now, it looks like they're going to force Fauquier to punt, but the boys right here can't jump. Don't give it to them like...
Exactly. Well, the punter is Evan Jackson. He kicks this one from the 30-yard line. Austin Wentz back for the Blue Devils. Takes it at the 25. Makes the first defender miss. And the second one. He's at the 40, 45, picks up the block. Oh, he's about one tackle away, maybe from going the distance as he got into Fauquier territory. near the 45-yard line. What a nice return by Austin Lynn.
That was. He was picking. He was picking the crab. He was going one down one leg through the other, and just really going through that Fauquier special teams. And like you said, just one tackle away, he could have broken it, Mark.
Nicely done. How critical is it that if you're a punt returner or a tailback, you make that first guy miss, you might do something, right?
Yeah, and then you get to that second level, Mark. Again, here with Culpeper, if they're able to get to that second level with their running backs, they can pick up positive yardage, but they haven't really been attacking the edge. They've been really just running up the middle. And I think, right now you need to go, you would go to the wide side or even try to get the edge on the short side of the field, but make Fauquier play you.
All right, Riley Harrison, the homecoming king, gets the handoff, gets to the outside, and then they wrestle him down near the 40-yard line. That's a pickup of 7 yards for the Blue Devils with 8:25 to go. Clock moving, third quarter. 10-3 our score in favor of the Falcons. That was our score at the intermission. This broadcast brought to you in part by Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints at 317-1473. Second down and 3. Blue Devils at the Falcon 40. It'll be play action. Caught. Joseph Holland, 30, 25. Wrestled out of bounds near the 15-yard line. And making the tackle, number 6, Austin Fernandez. Blue Devils on the move here, Steve.
Mark, that's a good play call. Short pass, able to give it to Joe Holland. He's able to pick up big yards. That's, get the ball in your best athlete's hands. And via that short pass, gives confidence to Sutherland behind as a QB, and let Joe Holland do the rest. He's a good athlete, and he just showed it right there.
Well, the ball's at the 20, so he picked up 20 yards on the reception. Back to Harrison they go, left side. And he was tripped up shy of the 15-yard line. Looks like we'll mark it at the 16. We'll give him 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 6. 7:30 to go here in the third quarter. 10-3 Falcons. Blue Devils knocking on the door here.
Second down, 4.
And they're big. Fauquier's big guy, linebacker Garrett Kramer. He's having a whale of a ball game, but right there, just keep pounding at him. It's like the Blue Devils do and wear him out.
2nd and 6 from the 16. Back to Riley Harrison they go. Left side. Wow, bowls his way inside the 10-yard line. And he made the tackler there. Austin Fernandez paid for getting in his way.
Yeah, he sure did, Mark. He came around that corner, turned that corner, and lowered his shoulder and stiff-armed his way. And, like, right now, Culpeper's got some energy.
Moved at the 8-yard line. He picked up 8 yards in the first down. Blue Devils look like they're going to call a timeout. Well, actually, it's the Falcons calling the timeout. Well, our timeout sponsor, CFC Farm and Home Center. Hometown service since 1932. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm and Home Center. And, we're live this year. We're so thankful for that opportunity. Our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. And Copperfish and Time Market, from wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. And also, while we have the opportunity, Steve, want you back in the game. Who can get you there? Culpeper Medical Center. It's home to UVA orthopedic specialists providing world-class treatment for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. So this was a Falcon timeout. And after this timeout, Blue Devils, they've been thinking Riley Harrison all the way in this series, haven't they?
Yeah,
and of course, Joe Holland.
And he's running really hard, and Coach Ford was fired up and getting those boys fired up again because he's seen enough bad football. Let's see if we can get some momentum and take the ball here.
Whistle, stoppage. Will this be a penalty?
It's against Fauquier.
So you can tell by Coach Ford's reaction. It wasn't against his team.
The distance to the goal.
Then that would make it, down to the 4. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Steve, I think it's safe for you to get your vocal cords warmed up.
Get them ready, Mark. Get them
ready. For your
ready.
signature exclamation.
Getting ready. Want to say it.
And it may be Riley Harrison on the
Could be.
front end of that equation.
Or Sutherland with a draw, quarterback draw might work here.
They go to Harrison. And Harrison, he was fighting for yardage. It looked like he was down at the 5-yard line. Let's check the spot. Not sure if he was down or if he was able to get that second effort. So, well, the line of scrimmage was a 4, and he didn't get
got about half a yard.
maybe a half a yard, yeah. But he's second and goal from that spot.
But also the offense has got to realize Fauquier sending their defensive ends crashing down. I mean, you can hit them if you just do a pitch, like a toss play, you can walk in the end zone if you watch their outside defensive ends and their linebackers.
All right, second and goal from the 4. They fake it to Harrison. Here it goes. Bennett Sutherland into the end zone from 4 yards out. And the Blue Devils a point after away from tying this football game up with 6:20 to play here in the third quarter.
Touchdown, Blue Devils.
Bennett Sutherland, 4-yard carry. Well, you know that Fauquier was thinking Riley Harrison, and you know that the Blue Devils knew that, so they faked it to Harrison, and then Bennett Sutherland had it easy going into the
wide
the
open,
end zone.
Mark. He stepped right in, no untouched. Good
Now
play.
Joseph Holland on for the point after, and if he connects, we'll have a tied ball game. Lentz gets it down. Holland gets it up over the crossbar. We are tied. 10-all with 6:20 to play here in the third quarter. And let's get in another spot here, Steve. Pick one of your favorite sponsors. They're all good.
Let's hear from Found and Sons.
Found and Sons, more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. That's Found and Sons at 825-3530.
And our friends at Battlefield.
Battlefield Automotive featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community at 547-3673. Well, Steve, this is the second time these two teams have met this season. We've talked about that in the pregame and throughout the broadcast. We talked about how Fauquier beat Culpeper 20-0. But the Blue Devils had good showing last week, played very competitively against a talented John Hanley team, came up a little bit short. That had to be a psychological lift for this team. They played it without Riley Harrison. They get him back for this game. And, you know, obviously they missed him last week. And now you get a tied ball game. It's anybody's game. And I think the Blue Devils are probably an improved team for when they played Fauquier that first time.
They are, Mark. I would, you're 100% correct there. The thing is, they just got off a slow start tonight. I don't know if it was the homecoming festivities that everyone participated in before the game, but now, like I said, Culpeper is really playing hard, and hopefully this is not good to let them run the football, get good field position on the kickoff.
And guess who made the tackle? Joseph Holland, your kicker, put the shoulder into Evan Jackson, who had a nice return all the way up to about the 40-yard line. So Faulkner's going to have good field position as they send its offense back on the field. We're tied up 10-all. Now remember, Fauquier took a 10-0 lead, and then late in the second quarter we had the field goal. Was it 39 yards for Joseph Holland, made it 10-3. And then the Blue Devils touchdown here a moment ago has tied it up here in the third quarter, 10-all. And James Deal goes back to work, and he's going to air it downfield for Evan Jackson. And this time, Steve, we had a defender out there going with him stride for stride.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say, Mark. This time they defended it the right way. He was stride for stride with the wide receiver from Fauquier, and who was it?
Cameron Lacey, number 9.
Lacey, and he was right there, and he could have made a play in the football if the ball was catchable. And that's what we got to do now. It looks like they're tightening up a little bit on defense and see if they can carry this momentum into, shut Fauquier down and force a punt and get the ball right back.
2nd and 10 from the 40. Deal when they hand off. And this is Taylor, the running back. Brought down by Riley Harrison near the 45. He'll pick up 5 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Big 3rd and 5 play here, Mark, because if they stop them here, Faukier's not going to try to go for it in 4th down. They'll want to punt it and play the field position game. Big third down series right here for the Blue Devils.
The man over the ball there for the Blue Devils, big number 77, James Jeffries.
And who's big number 3?
William Holland. All right, 3rd down and 5 for the Falcons from the 46. James Deal reverses direction, throws near side. Got a receiver, it's Fernandez. Blue Devil 43-yard line and a 1st down.
Again, too much cushion, Mark. Just too much cushion on giving that receiver right there. He's going out like a run on post, and he's cutting it back and, heading to the sideline. Again, the receivers have got to be up on that. When the receiver makes that cut, that defensive back has got to be right there and take an inside track to the ball instead of the outside.
Picked up 11 yards. Did Fernandez for the 1st down, moves the sticks. 5:14, clock stopped here in the 3rd quarter. We're tied up 10-all. And the Falcons looking to respond for answers to that Blue Devil touchdown a moment ago. James Deal, the quarterback, going to keep it. Straight ahead he goes. Breaks one tackle. Wrestled down inside the 40 at about the 37. And that's a pickup of 7 yards for James Deal. The quarterback's going to bring up 2nd and short.
Again, Fauquier's going to be content to try to use clock, Mark, here, especially 4 minutes, 50 seconds in the 3rd quarter. But, the thing is, with Deal, he's so crafty with that football.
Mm-hmm.
And he does such a good job back there. And his Culpepper's just got to be, just watch that football and watch Deal.
In the backfield, Dylan Taylor behind James Deal, the quarterback. On 2nd and 3, Blue Devils show pressure. Here they come. They dump it off over the middle. Got a receiver and a 1st down. It's number 25, Wesley Heflin. And a Falcon 1st down. And Joseph Holland a little shaken up on the play. Now he's on his feet.
And I think, Mark, that
we got a penalty flag. Bring it back, Steve. I didn't see that, but I looked and saw the official pointing the other direction. And that's going to take away that 1st down gain by Fauquier.
Yep, man, that's good.
False start. Okay. So they'll push it back to the 42, and that'll make it 2nd down and 8.
And the thing is, what do you got up here with the Blue Devils? You got to watch Deal in that quarterback run. And then, when Culpepper and Fauquier made a great play call on that because they got Culpepper in a blitz, and they just shot number 25 out. Basically, he was lined up almost in a tight end position. He just had to go just a few steps across the line of scrimmage. He's wide open.
Well, one of the things, Steve, is that I haven't seen the Blue Devils tackle James Deal with a solo tackle. He's been able to make that first guy miss.
Yep.
Or it's taking more than one guy to get him. Will this be the case? He got away from Riley Harrison, throws it incomplete, and just outside the reach of the intended receiver there, number 10, John Beinecker, and of course, now he was open too, and that would have been a 1st down with a better throw.
But again, he's being pressured by Riley Harrison, and he kind of threw it off his back foot. The quarterback Deal did. But again, you got to really, I think what Culpepper was doing, sending pressure. That's the only way you're going to disrupt this Fauquier offense. You can't let Deal just sit back there and direct it because he'll pick you apart with his arm or his legs.
So fair to say at this point in the game, with the score and the time of 3:47 in the 3rd quarter, you've got 3rd and 8. This is a big play for both teams.
Big play right here, Mark.
James Deal, let's see what he's dialed up here. Over the middle. This one caught. 1st down and then some. Oh, the ball wrestled away from him by Riley Harrison. He just took it away from him, Steve. I don't think that they ruled the receiver down. He just wrestled it away from him and literally forced the turnover.
First, see but they're calling something here. It is Culpepper football.
How about that? There's your homecoming king, who's played well defensively and offensively. Missed last week's game. He comes in. We just talked about how critical that play was going to be for both teams. 3rd and 8 from the 42. And it looked like 1st down yardage easily until Riley Harrison ripped the ball out of the receiver's hand.
I was getting ready to say, did Harrison go down on the knee when you ripped that out?
I did not.
He
I
could
didn't
still
see.
go running, and he stopped when the coach was out there. Go! You were down.
I don't know why the whistle blew. I didn't see that he was on the ground.
Yeah, I didn't either. Which we had.
Malachi Terrell, left side, slung down at the 30. after a pickup of 2 yards.
And Terrell just looks a little slow this week, Mark. I mean, he had 170 yards, I think, last week, the hard running yards, and he looks like just a little step slow here tonight.
Haven't been able to spring him yet, that's for sure. But he's given Riley Harrison a breather. Back in the backfield there is Terrell alongside Bennett Sutherland, the quarterback, who's got the Blue Devils touchdown tonight. This is the option. This is Terrell. Ball is loose, and he's lucky that one took a fortuitous bounce. He was able to pounce on it. It's going to bring up 3rd and long.
And that wasn't Terrell's fault, Mark. That was really Sutherland. Sutherland needs, if they're going to option on that, he needs to go down the line and make that defensive end commit one way or the other. And as soon as he got it, he made 2 steps and kind of pushed the ball out there to Terrell. He needs to run with Terrell, let Terrell get that corner, then pitch it, and make one of those Fauquier defenders come to him or play one of them, because if he does, one will get their defender chooses the wrong one, big yardage.
All right, 2:20, clock ticking, 3rd and 11, Blue Devils, 10-10 our score. Here comes the pressure. They set it up for Riley Harrison. Harrison struggles, runs hard, but he can't get outside the grasp there of the tackler, number 22. And don't have him.
So it brings up 4th down. They got to punt it here.
Yeah. So Riley Harrison had forced a turnover and gave the Blue Devils an opportunity. They were unable to capitalize on it. But here's a big thing. In a game this close, field position is a factor. This is where you need a big kick from Joseph Holland.
You sure do.
Evan Jackson will be the return man, I believe, for Fauquier. Here's Holland's kick. This one, it got past him, and if he touches it, it's a live ball. It's anybody's ball, they're looking for it. Let's see who's got it. Looks like it might be Fauquier here, Steve.
You can't tackle with your legs.
Blue Devils say they've got it. Let's see who comes up with it. Pick up the number 21 for the Blue Devils on special teams, Darnell Henderson. Big play on special teams. And that's a pivotal moment there.
That was a good play. Like I said, you can't hold the ball with your legs. The defender, it looks like it's going to be a flag now. The Fauquier, I think they're jawing at the refs about it. I think that's going to be on the...
Well, here comes the call. Look for the man in the white hat. Unsportsmanlike. Fauquier, you called it. Yeah, you nailed it.
I came from the coaching staff. I saw that. They were very unhappy.
Well, what would be their point of contention? That the third player had it?
They had it, and he was just underneath his legs, and he should have been given the option to have possession of the ball. Well, you didn't have your arms around it. And 21 for Culpepper, he just went there and pushed his way out, just grabbed it out from beneath the Fauquier player's legs. And they just thought that should have been down, the coaches did, so that cost them 15 yards.
And we got a whistle and stoppage here before we can get this play underway. The ball is at the 17-yard line. And the Blue Devils have it here in the red zone. They're marking off another 5 yards. Let's check the call.
I think it's another punch.
I haven't seen the signal for what the penalty was yet.
They just marked it wrong with the penalty on the unsportsmanlike.
So 1st and 10 now from the 12. So the Blue Devils here with an opportunity to go up a score if they can convert. Riley Harrison won't do it there. That's one of the hardest hits of the game, Steve, made tonight by number 22, who happens to be the one player not on this roster.
It never fails.
Yeah.
The Phantom.
Yep.
The Phantom Falcon. So now there's a call against. And the coach is still after the official on this whole play. He's still not happy.
Ball start decline because of the good stop, and they'll force a second down here.
Yep. Now we got a new running back, 25 mark for Culpepper. And do we have this number?
25? Yeah, that's 25 is Eli Williams.
All right.
He had been playing receiver. Ball at the 17. Second down and 15. Riley Harrison goes back to work, trying to spring him, unable to do so, as Fauquier's players there, a couple combined on the tackle, including number 53, Garrett Kramer. And we'll mark it at the 12. It'll be third down. They need to get to about the 2 for a first down. Clock is running. We're down to 40 seconds here in the third quarter. We're tied up 10 apiece. And the Blue Devils have taken over on possession with the fumble off the punt. Good field position. Let's see if they can capitalize. Bennett Sutherland rolls. Got Holland at the 15-yard line. So really short gain there. It's going to bring up fourth down, and I'm thinking they'll probably go with Holland for a field goal attempt here.
I do too, Mark, and I think they'll let the clock run down because.
Yeah, the final seconds. We're down to 10 and counting here in the third quarter. They could take their time.
Remaining in the third quarter, Blue Devils look like they're going to let the clock run out. And going into the fourth quarter, we've got a great
so it's official. Third quarter's in the books. Our score, tied up, 10 apiece. We'll take a break, come back with the fourth, with the Blue Devils looking at a fourth down and probably a field goal try coming up. Keep it right here on the Culpeper Media Network. You're watching Blue Devils football right here.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists, providing world-class treatments for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
On 4th and 12, Austin Lentz gets it down. This one's blocked at the line of scrimmage. I don't know that they can return that one. Maybe they can. But the blocking just broke down there, and the Falcons were all over it. It would have been a 32-yard field goal attempt, easily within Holland's range, and the Falcons force a big turnover with the block. They get positive yardage after the block, and they're going to mark it down. It looks like the Fauquier 45-yard line.
Yeah, they came crashing hard on that mark, and that field goal, like you just hit the nail on the head, the blocking just would let them down on that play.
Actually, it's at midfield, so Fauquier here in the opening minute of the fourth quarter goes back on offense from midfield. We're tied 10-all. It's been a good game as James Deal goes back to work. This one batted down, and Cameron Lacey makes a nice play there defensively. Pass intended for Austin Fernandez.
There's what I call good coverage, Mark, by Cameron Lacey. Perfect position, able to knock that ball away, brings up second down. Because Fauquier is going to try to put the ball in the air or try to get a big play here. And Blue Devils has got to be ready for it. And like I said, get Hibbert and company, give them a chance to dominate that offensive line and let the linebackers, led by Riley Harrison, eat them up.
Jim Jeffries back in the game. Deontay Ford to the sideline, 2nd and 10. And here is a running back, Kylil Kaiwu, who stopped immediately near the line of scrimmage. And you got to figure that number 4, Riley Harrison, is going to be in or very close to the ball every time he's anywhere in the vicinity. He makes himself that way, doesn't he? And he actually lost a yard on the play. The mark is at the Fauquier 49, and it brings up 3rd and 11. Now, we're back to another big third down play for both teams. Blue Devils show a little pressure. Fauquier picks it up. They give Deal time to throw. He's got a receiver and a first down And that is Austin Fernandez picking up the first down for the Falcons and keeping this drive alive.
And number 24 for the Blue Devils, Mark, again, gave him too much coverage, too much cushion right there, and was able to make the play and throw the ball. And again, you got to get tightened up coverage, and you see what's going to happen here. Blue Devils don't want to give a touchdown and let Fauquier run out the clock.
Well, both teams have proven they have effective field goal kickers. And I bring that up because it's a 10-10 game. Each team has a field goal and a touchdown. And a field goal could decide tonight's game. Here is Deal. Quarterback option. He's going to keep it all the way. He lowers his head, runs right into Joseph Holland. And Deal didn't want to go down, but after Holland hit him, he had plenty of help coming up in the form of blue jerseys. Team up and combine to stop Deal for no gain on the play.
That was a big play by Joseph Holland, Mark, because Deal looked like he had the corner. And he just came up from a safety position, and that's what he's supposed to do. Come like a laser. When you see that quarterback tucking the ball, going to run, you can forget about being the safety valve. You got to come up there and support, and he did with a good hard tackle right there.
Second down and 10, 9:40 to play, fourth quarter. Clock is moving. 10-10 our score. James Deal going to drop back. Holland jumps up to try to block it, unable to, and making a dive and catch inside the 30-yard line is Fauquier's John Beinecker. And he picked up 7. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3.
And Holland did get a hand on that ball, Mark. I think
did he?
Yeah.
I know he jumped pretty highly to get up in the
it.
air for it.
It looked like the receiver kind of trapped it, but we don't have replay here in high school football. So.
Well, they mark it the 29 where it's 3rd down and 4, 9 minutes to go. Clock moving. 10-10 our score. Fourth quarter action. Anybody's ball game. And on 3rd and 4, James Deal goes back to work. Here comes the pressure. Riley Harrison got away from him. Pump fakes. Gets away from the second defender. He's down to about the 25. And that's going to be awfully close to a first down, the first down marker. I'll tell you what, Deal made 2 very good football players miss.
He sure did, Mark. I'm impressed. He faked the throw. That froze that linebackers come and stop where he could have been tackled for a loss. And then he was able to bring it down. It looks like he's going to be just short of a first down.
Well, it looked like maybe he was close to it, but with the spot, they said no. So they've marked it at the 27 where it's 4th down and a long 1.
And they're going for it right here. And now Culver's got to step up big. See if they can step up big right here.
Well, if you're Fauquier, what do you dial up here? You've got Khalil Kaiwu in the backfield along James Deal, who's a threat to run it and throw it. And maybe we're going to have a timeout, and we do. It's going to be taken by Fauquier. Our timeout sponsor this season is CFC Farm & Home Center, hometown service since 1932. From head to toe, it's easy to outfit with CFC Farm & Home Center. And our live sponsor this year is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. And Culpeper Medical Center, get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists, providing world-class treatment for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. All right, Steve, 8:37 to go. Fauquier calls a timeout to think about a very critical 4th and 1 at the 27. And they've got some options back there. Now, the Blue Devils have stopped them at certain points for short gains. Pretty much have to do so here if they're going to keep this a tied ball game.
Yeah, it looks like Deal's going to line up in the shotgun mark. They've got to penetrate the gaps right here, see if they can get pressure on Deal.
Fauquier, man in motion, number 8. You're going to hand it off. This is Taylor. This is Taylor, the ball carrier. And he made a nice move up front. Got inside the 15-yard line and a first down. So Taylor's been sort of this go-to guy for Fauquier in this second half.
Well, he was able to pick that up because, again, we were keying on, Colbert was keying on Deal, and Taylor just made a nice sidestep, was able to pick up positive yards for the Falcons and give them another 4 downs. And this is where I got to say, defense got to hold them to a field goal.
Yeah, they needed 2 yards, and Taylor gave them 13. Resets the sticks, 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Deal going to keep it all the way. Riley Harrison has him in his grasp and not about to let go. They stop him near the 15. So either at the line of scrimmage or he lost a yard.
And Deal's getting banged. He's getting banged up. He's a little slow getting up. But, Riley Harrison, this is his last home game as a senior. He's been all over the field, Mark. Can't say enough good words about how well Harrison's played. And Joe Holland has played today.
Yeah, and so
they're seniors, and they don't want their last football game to end on a loss. They want to come on in here and see if they can stop the Falcons right here.
2nd and 10 Falcons from the Blue Devil 14-yard line. 10-10 our score. 4th quarter. Deal. Going to keep it. Watch out. He's made one player miss. Got into the open field there and just penetrated inside the 5-yard line. See, that's Deal. I mean, he just I know he's tough, but I'm also going to say he's elusive.
Yeah, he just kept hitting the crease. I mean, give him just a little crease, and he's gone. And Joe Holland looks down.
That's Joseph Holland down.
It was nothing serious.
And Deal had got down to the 2-yard line. He picked up 12 yards and a 1st down. So as they attend to Joseph Holland, Steve, let's get another spot in for our generous supporters of Blue Devils football here this season. And let's turn to Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473.
Let's hear about some from Battlefield again.
Battlefield Automotive featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service, and the cornerstone of our community. 547-3673. Joe Holland is okay.
Yeah, he had cramps, Mark, and those can be so painful, leg cramps, and they can strike you right down quick. You just need to get some water, get some fluids in them. Should be back out there.
Well, if you're Fauquier, you got to feel pretty good about where you are now because you got 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Taylor back there. This time Deal will go under center for the first time in the game. He's going to keep it straight ahead. He goes, and they stop him. It looks like right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he just did anything. He just fell down.
Yeah.
He's slow getting up too, but.
That's the first time we've actually seen him under center tonight. They did give him a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 1.
And he's a little slow getting up because they crushed him. So it looks like he's moving his arm a little bit.
Well, he's going to play every play. He's going to play offensively. He's going to play defensively. We need him to kick a field goal. He's going to do that. So we're approaching the midway mark of this 4th quarter. And the Falcons have it 2nd and goal now from the 1. Deal goes back under center. I don't know if he drew up the same play or if there was movement, and the ball was never snapped. So it is going to be a false start against the Falcons, Steve.
Right.
That's big.
Yeah, because the ball didn't move, and everybody in the whole Falcons fell forward.
Right. So they push it back to the 6-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and goal from that spot. How huge would it be, Steve, if the Blue Devils can turn the Falcons back, or at least keep them out of the end zone and limit them to a field goal, knowing you've got, roughly 5 minutes to play here in the game? That's
huge, Mark. And, you look at it from a district perspective, too. Fauquier needs to, Kettle Run's undefeated, and Hanley is 1 loss. So Fauquier really needs this win and try to, stay in the race. But we'll see right here on this play.
2nd and goal from the 6. Deal, going to throw. Picked off! Riley Harrison, 10, 15, 20. Tackled at the 25-yard line. I believe it was Deal who made the tackle. But Riley Harrison, his 2nd forced turnover here in the second half. Talking about coming at one of the most crucial, biggest moments. What else can you say?
That was a big play, Mark. Harrison read it the whole way and was able to step in front and able to make the interception. I thought he might take it all the way to the house. But, again, Deal, shook off, it's hurt, and he made a heck of a tackle. Well, Harrison could have taken it all the way.
You'd have been saying touchdown Blue Devils, and it would have been a 6-0 Blue Devil lead, but crucial turnover here. Game remains tied 10-all, 5:18 to play here in this fourth quarter. Blue Devils back on offense thanks to the Riley Harrison interception. They'll start from the 26. This is Malachi Terrell over the right side, across the 30, out to about the 32, 6 yards, and I think that was his biggest pickup of the night, and a little slow getting up on his feet.
And Mark, he's hurting. I can just see that. The way he's running, he's just been hurting a little bit. He just doesn't have the same takeoff speed he had last week, and he could be nursing something, in his legs or in his upper body, but he just doesn't seem like he's running like himself.
So if you're the Blue Devils, Steve, you want to put together a long, sustained drive and cap it with a score of some sort. Take the go-ahead lead without giving the Falcons any time on the clock. But to do that, you got to hold on to the football. And that snap, I don't know. I think that Bennett Sutherland just never did get a handle on it.
That could have been a big turnover for the Blue Devils. Now they got third and long, Mark.
I think it's 3rd and 7 from the 29-yard line. And they're going to send 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Riley Harrison back in there alongside Bennett Sutherland on 3rd and 7. Falcons show pressure. They throw it. Hollins, the man at the 35-yard line. And that won't be enough for a first down, I do not believe.
And Colbert's got to punt it, Mark. They cannot try to go hit 4th and about 3. They just can't afford it,
No.
I think they got to punt it here, play field position, play for overtime.
Well, with 4th and 2, I think you're exactly right.
They're going to go for it.
Well, they line up as though they're going to go for it. Do you think they will? I think he wants to draw them off again. I think the Falcons are saying, don't cross. Watch the ball.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
Well, they weren't able to draw them off, and now Culpepper takes a timeout. I believe after the timeout they will punt it, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before. And let's get another spot in, Steve. How about Copperfish and Time Market? From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you will find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. And, of course, our live sponsor this year is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. All right. After the timeout, 4th and 2. Joseph Holland in to punt.
I think that's a better call, Mark.
Yeah.
Now, is Fauquier going to dial up punt block, though?
Well, they got Evan Jackson back there. It's a good snap. Holland's kick is a good one. Backing him up. Let's check the bounce here. And pretty well done. He kicked it inside the 20-yard line. He did his job. And so, what did he kick that one from the 20?
Yep.
30 and 32, 62-yard kick.
Pretty good kick right there. Now, you got Fauquier. See if they got 3 minutes to go. See if they can, hit the end zone or get down the field goal range for Deal. But right now, the defense has got to be playing pretty hard. I know they're tired, but they got one more gut check right here, Mark.
3:05 to play. Falcons take over at their 19. And, of course, the next score could be the game winner for either team. Let's see what the Falcons do here. Deal. Pump fakes. Now he's going to throw long. He's got a receiver out there. Incomplete. And let's check and see if there's a penalty flag coming in. I don't see one yet.
You're lucky.
Yeah, I think so. The pass intended for John Beinecker. And the defender there was number 21, Darnell Henderson. Don't tell the officials I said this, but I thought Henderson hit him before the ball got
I did too.
Now, I may have just been seeing things. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Well, both of us looking at it like that could have been called the other way, either way.
Yeah, I think they'll take, if you're the Blue Devils, you take that one.
Take that gift.
Hurry up and call second down. Well, there is no challenge, though, is there?
No.
Second down and 10 from the 19. Deal. Rolls to his left. Going to throw on the run. He's got a receiver, Fernandez, 30, 35. Better tackling than they do, just short of the 40-yard line. 21-yard pickup by Fernandez. Austin, that is. Austin Fernandez. And that'll move the sticks.
Mark,
Keep this drive going for Fauquier.
I was going to say, Mark, Culver needs to go into a big prevent defense. Send everybody back except the defensive line rushing the passer.
Well, the only thing there, Steve, if you play prevent defense, you're giving up the short plays consistently, and they can get in field goal range and win this thing.
I understand. But you got to do something right here. You can't. You want that ball back.
In other words, you got to do something. You can't do nothing.
That's right.
Right. So I just think that they're just like talking about playing off the receivers. Here's a little something they do that's going to go in the books as a very good thing because Riley Harrison and 55 there, Larry Williams combined for the tackle for the loss back to the 38-yard line. That's what they sort of needed. But I was alluding to what you said about the defensive back coverage tonight. Why is the receiver staying there open, waiting on a ball to get there?
That's right.
Yeah. So.
You got to be up there going ball hawking.
Second and 12 from the 38. Going to throw again. Got a receiver at the 45-yard line and in the Blue Devil territory on the reception this time, John Beinecker. And that'll move the sticks once again.
And if I was Culpepper, the defensive coordinator, saying, look, if 10's lining up over here, the ball's coming to him on the sideline. Lock up on him. Play man-to-man. Don't give him that cushion.
You don't think they're afraid of getting beat deep, do you?
I do. Honestly, I do. I think they don't want to give up the big play. But, again, they're giving him too much of a cushion. He was standing there still waiting for the ball. Deal was rolling out. He's throwing off his wrong foot. He doesn't have any velocity on that ball. You need to be up there and defending and try to get, go for the ball as well.
2:08 to play, fourth quarter. First and 10, Falcons from the Culpeper 47. Deal has it. He got away from Holland. He throws. He's got a receiver out there. It is Fernandez at the Blue Devil 40. And he picked up 7 yards. It'll bring up second and 3.
That was
2 minutes to play, 2:01 to be exact, here in the fourth. Tied up 10 all. And this drive, if it's capped with a score, would likely be the winning score. This is where the Blue Devil defense obviously has to step up.
They have to step up, Morgan. That was a good play by Fauquier's receiver to get out of bounds, stop that clock. And, again, they had Deal trapped in the backfield, but they didn't wrap him up.
And now it is second and 3 for the Falcons. Deal steps up. He got away from the first defender, lowers his shoulders, knocked out of bounds by Austin Lentz. After he picked up the first down, Steve, there was a defender. I didn't pick up his jersey. He had him. He got away from him, and that's what made the difference.
It looks like he got away from big number 70.
First down and 10, Falcons at the Blue Devil 36 now, with a minute 53 to play. Clock stopped. And really, the Falcons can win this with a field goal. And they're going to try to do what the Blue Devils would have done, and that is use the clock as an ally as Deal goes back to work. Here comes the pressure from Bracken Hibbert. He gets away from Harrison. Deal keeps it, goes out of bounds inside the 35. This will be a short pickup. Line of scrimmage was the 36.
Being chased by Bracken Hibbert. I thought Hibbert had him.
It's just that as we've watched this game, Steve, from its inception tonight, we have seen that James Deal is a hard guy to stop with the initial hit.
Right.
It's just they're not having any luck making a solo tackle on him. You've got to wrap him up and slow him down and have others come over to help you. He's just elusive and very tough. And Coach Ford is exactly right. So the line of scrimmage of 35. He picked up 1 yard. Second down from there. Blue Devils showing some pressure. Throwing it incomplete off the hands of the defender, Cameron Lacey, and then had it stayed up in the air a little bit longer, I believe Evan Jackson would have gotten under it for Fauquier instead. It's an incomplete pass, and yet another 3rd and 10 and a critical third down coming up for both teams.
Well, Mark, I thought Cameron Lacey had played the ball and could have ran it all the way back for a touchdown for the Blue Devils. He just couldn't quite hang on to it because Deal wouldn't have been able to chase him down. Because Deal was already too far upfield after he threw that ball.
So interesting here because with 1:38 to play, 10-10 our score. Falcons have it, 3rd and 10, Blue Devil 35-yard line. What they do, try to keep this drive going. Here's Deal. He's in trouble. He throws it, and he's got a receiver. Unbelievable. It looked like he was going down, and as he was going down, he was able to connect with Wesley Heflin for a first down yardage. Steve, that's just the toughness of James Deal coming through.
It was, and then Culver's got a player hurt, number 9.
That's Cameron Lacey.
Yeah, he's like grabbing his arm. Could be a cramp. Yeah, he went to the field. It looks like he's cramping up.
Picked up 13 yards on the play that looked like maybe Deal was going to be finally trapped and taken to the ground. Instead, he completes it on his way to the ground to the tune of 13 yards, another first down, and they've moved the sticks, and now
that was a heck of a throw, Mark. I mean, heck of a way to stand in.
So now you got a situation where you've got the ball at the 22. Technically, you're within range of James Deal if you were to try a field goal, but they've got 1:29, and they want to use that clock en route to scoring as well.
That's true. So let's hear some cash.
All right. So we'll go to take this opportunity to thank our supporters. And one of those is Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints at 317-1473. And Culpeper Medical Center. Get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists providing world-class treatment for the joints, muscles, and homes of your home team.
It looked like Lacey came off the field holding his arm, Mark. I think he might have pulled something on his shoulder there. It's bad news for the Blue Devils. The next man up mentality, but watch Fauquier try to attack that side of the field.
Blue Devils showing pressure. Hand off. Dylan Taylor. Riley Harrison, number 4, meets number 4. And he makes the stop. And it's a big one for the Blue Devils. How many big plays has Mr. Riley Harrison, the king of the homecoming court, made tonight?
He's plenty, and Faukier's letting that clock run down. It's 4th down. Or no, it's 2nd down.
2nd and 14, yeah. Like I say, the clock really is on their side because they're within range here of a field goal to win this game. This is where the Blue Devils need a big stop, really, for lost yardage. From the 25. Watch out for Deal. Throws over the middle. He's got a receiver, and that is back to number 25 again. That's Wesley Heflin. And now here the Falcons go hurry up from the 15. Deal. Here comes the pressure. They trip him up, and they stop him at the 15. Clock is running. Stops at 27.1 seconds. Remember, they are certainly within field goal range easily of James Deal, and that might be the winner tonight. It looks like that could be the case, but it depends on whether or not the Blue Devils can get a turnover. And Riley Harrison's had 2 already in the half.
Well, what down is it, Mark? 4th down or? 4th down, right?
It is, all right. 4th and
so they're gonna
5 from the 15.
They're going to go field goal. And so now you tell the Blue Devils, be big up front, own the line of scrimmage, get some penetration for the block, either big push up the middle or send your quickest person off the edge, and that might be Riley Harrison.
So on 4th and 5, this would be, depending on, say, 7 for the spot, 22 and 10, a 32-yard field goal attempt coming up courtesy of James Deal. So This could be your game winner right here. If he misses it, we might be headed for overtime. Here's the kick. It's blocked! The Blue Devils block it. Can you believe that? They come up big. They block the kick. The 32-yard field goal attempt by Deal. Blue Devils take over with 21.5 seconds to play in the game.
Well, more than likely we're going to go to overtime, but Blue Devils got 21 seconds. See if they can work some magic here.
Well, I don't think that they're going to do much here with 21 seconds, and you don't want to throw an interception.
No, you do not.
You don't want to turn it over and have them have a field goal. I think they try to work this clock out and settle it in overtime.
Yeah, where each team starts at the 10-yard line and has got 4 downs to get it in, and you pretty much want to go on defense when they flip the coin. So you know what you got to do.
Mm-hmm. Riley Harrison back there is sort of a safety valve in the event this ball gets beyond Bennett Sutherland. It doesn't. He takes the knee. And now we're down to 15 seconds and counting, and both teams will be content to let this one run down and settle the matter in overtime. All right. Well, you know, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Found & Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530. Well, Steve, we have played regulation. We're tied up 10-all. And now both teams get a clean slate, and they'll say, let's try it in overtime. So, if you win the toss, do you want to put your defense out there first?
I would, because that way you know what your offense you got to do. You got to first, I think it gives more power to the offense by, you sit there and let you, if you win the coin toss, you defer, you go on defense, let Fauquier, and whatever happens is you get a touchdown or a field goal, and let's say they're limited to field goal. Well, now on offense, Culpeper turn, they know they can win it with a touchdown. So it's generally you want to give, if you win the toss, you want to go on defense first. And in high school, it starts at the 10-yard line. College, they take it from the 25.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the pros are all totally different.
Well,
starts at the 10-yard line.
We were just conferring about the overtime procedure because, we haven't had many broadcasts this season. This will be the first time we go into overtime.
It's been a long time since we had an overtime game.
So, it was really the story of the second half. Remember, it was 10-3 at the intermission, and the only score in the half was a touchdown by Bennett Sutherland.
It's unusual the coaches are out there.
But, Steve, Blue Devil defense getting the turnovers at such critical times.
It is. Blue Devil defense, hands up, into Riley Harrison. They stepped up big. But what I was alluding to right here is you both get the coaches out here. Usually it's the players, the captains, and now it's the coaches, and they're explaining the overtime rules. But, Mark, you said it correctly. The defense and the way they came up big, and they did it, and they're able to, tie this football game up. And now it looks like Culpeper won the toss, and they're going to go on defense first.
Well, Steve, another thing we need to reiterate is that this is the second meeting between these two teams. And Fauquier won the first game 20-0. Now the Blue Devils are obviously improved and are in position to win this one in overtime.
Yeah, what a great win to end out your season with a win over your rival. Like I said, I know they got one more game at Rock Ridge, but next year in the fall, when we come back in the fall, Mark, Culpeper is going to be back in the old Battlefield District, going to be battling with Eastern View, the Chancellors, the Cortlands, the King George, the Carolines, and James Monroe. And see, right now, this year, when you had Sharando, Millbrook, and James Wood opted out and not want to do, they canceled all fall and winter sports, and they didn't want to go football in the spring. So it really is, it's come down to the Fauquier schools and Rock Ridge, but Rock Ridge is a beginning team. So right now, it looks like that Culpeper's going to go on offense.
Yeah, I saw that, and it surprised me. But anyway, so from the 10-yard line, they have 4 downs here to score, unless they turn it over. And it's Sutherland Riley Harrison trying to get to the edge, breaks the tackle, still fighting for yardage. That was a tough 5-yard pickup by Riley Harrison, and that was all Harrison.
It was all Harrison, Mark. And you don't have to worry about a clock.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry. And does he run hard or what?
He really does, and I'm wondering if they're calculating that we've got 4 tries from 10 yards out, and Harrison give you 3 yards a pop. The math is simple. You score on 4th down. Maybe they mix it up. I don't know. But he picked up 5, and it's 2nd and goal from there. And then they go back to Harrison. Makes the move. Harrison fighting down just shy of the goal line. Wow, down to the 1. I think that's the strategy is you got 4 downs and you say Riley Harrison times 4.
I like the call, Mark. I agree. I mean, I think the way he's running, it just surprised me, though, they would go on defense, offense first instead of defense, because they know that Harrison's going to give you the 4 carries. You might get a touchdown, so.
But if they do score here, then it puts the pressure on Fauquier to answer by a touchdown.
Right.
That a field goal won't help them. All right, 3rd and goal now from the 1. Well, they missed Harrison. It looks like he went the other way, and then Bennett looked for him and didn't find him. Instead, he found white jerseys, and he takes a loss.
Decision time here, Mark.
Got to go for the field goal. You got to have points.
Yeah, you can't.
And that means if you get the field goal, you can give up a field goal, but you can't give up a touchdown to win.
Yeah, that's the only thing about going first. I mean, if Harrison just got that extra half yard, it'd been into the touchdown, because then also you got to remember the extra point is big too.
Yeah. But exactly. Well, the thing is that we don't know what would have happened at Harrison. Here's Holland's kick. And it does clear. So the Blue Devils have a 3-point advantage here in overtime. And here momentarily the Falcons will go on offense from the 10-yard line. If they get a touchdown, they win the game.
Yeah, if they get a touchdown, if they win the game, it's theirs. If not, the field goal to try to tie it up. They miss the field goal, Culpepper wins. So, again, I'm always a proponent of go on defense first. Then I know what I'm going to do as a coach, and know how I'm going to attack and try to score. But they took a gamble and they lost it. Harrison stopped a half-yard short.
Well, Harrison looked great on 2 carries. How great would he have looked had he and Bennett Sutherland been on the same sheet of music?
Yeah. Because
he went one way, Sutherland turned the other. He was looking for Harrison, and in rut row he wasn't there, but the white jerseys were.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's all Sutherland. I wouldn't fault Harrison being the senior. I think Sutherland turned the wrong way.
Yeah, I think you're right. Harrison looked and said, what are you doing? Well, back to the Blue Devil defense. Can they keep Deal and company out of the end zone? This is Dylan Taylor, dragged down for a loss. And he's got Corey Hutcherson and, you believe, Riley Harrison in on the football play.
I mean, that man's a stud, Mark Riley Harrison.
I mean, he has just had a whale of a ball game. Not to take anything away from his teammates, but, he really does stand out as a force on both sides of the football. All right, here's 2nd down now. He lost a yard. 2nd and 11 for the Falcons. Remember, if the Blue Devils can hold them scoreless, they win. If they hold it to a field goal, go to a 2nd overtime, I suppose.
Yep.
But if Deal can get into the end zone, it'll be their game. He throws. He's got Fernandez out there, and they're going to tackle him just inside the 5-yard line. So really, he picked up 6, going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Big 3rd down play here for the Blue Devils on defense, Mark.
Austin Fernandez has played well for Fauquier. Multiple receptions tonight, particularly in that first half, 3rd and 5. So let's see if the Blue Devils can turn back James Deal and company and keep them out of the end zone. If they do so on 3rd down, I suspect Fauquier goes, well, you never know. They might go for the win outright. Dylan Taylor in the backfield. Number 3 is Evan Jackson. Deal the quarterback. 3rd and 5. Deal. Here comes pressure. Got away from it. Throws. This one nearly picked off by Austin Lentz, who obviously made the defensive play. And now you've got 4th down, and you figure Fauquier goes for the tie here with a field goal.
Right. I thought Lentz had the interception. It would have been game over.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, Steve. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I haven't been in an overtime scenario in so long. It's a regular season. Will they play past one overtime?
Yeah.
They will play. Okay.
If I were Joe Holland, I'd be sending him up the middle somewhere. He's sleeping with his 6'4"
Well, remember the last time that Deal tried a field goal, it was blocked. So if the Blue Devils can block this one, they win the game. If Deal is able to connect, it'll send us to our second overtime.
It's going to be timeout for the Blue Devils.
Yeah. Very good. This has been an exciting game, Steve. And I'll tell you what, of course, we're live this year. Our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air at 718-7556. Exciting game. In fact, this is the second time we've seen the Blue Devils play this year, and both times did not disappoint. Remember the thriller, entertaining game we had last week against Hanley, and they came so close, but came up a little bit short. And now, against the Fauquier team that's 2-2, they've forced overtime, and really on this next play can either decide whether or not we go to a second overtime or whether the Blue Devils win.
I'm impressed by the scrappiness of the Blue Devils. I mean, this shows Coach Ford a lot, and maybe it'll show some kids next year this is a good winning, can be a good winning program to come on out. The way they fought when the first game first started in the first quarter, I was kind of thought that the Blue Devils were just going through the motions.
All right. Well, here is Deal not lining up for a field goal, deciding to go for it here on fourth down. They're going to go for the win. This one deflected, and Austin Lynch has picked it off, and the Blue Devils win in overtime, 13-10, Steve. What do you think about Fauquier going for the win there?
That took guts, Mark.
Yeah.
It took a lot of guts. They want the game in their seniors' hands, but
well, they say there's a flag down. Wait, if it's against the Blue Devils,
against the Blue Devils,
they're going to replay it then.
They're going to replay it.
So don't go anywhere.
Ball changes everything right here.
The call should be coming momentarily. I didn't see what happened.
They said holding on the defense.
And that certainly changes things because now you're going to give James Deal another opportunity. So it is holding.
He said that Lentz held on the defender.
And Steve, it's half the distance to the goal there. So
now, if you're Fauquier, you got another breathe life into you. You still try to go for it or go for the field goal?
I think they're probably going to go for it. They're much closer to it. Somebody's going to call
timeout.
Yeah, I think you got to call a timeout here. Wow, how about that? So rather than having the Austin Lentz interception and the Blue Devil win, we got to put that on hold for now because with the penalty, that moves the ball to the half the distance to the goal, and the Falcons will come back with another fourth down try and a very dangerous, tough, and elusive James Deal who can hurt you running it or throwing it. This series, the Blue Devils have looked good defending the pass. Deal hasn't really pressed them with the run yet, and that could be the play call.
I mean, it's just like Blue Devils are eating the cake and then it just got yanked out from under them.
Yeah, right.
Now it's half distance to the goal. What do you do? What do you go? What do you do, Blue?
I think if you're Fauquier,
and they're going for it again.
I think you did. Remember they.
I think Scott.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta. They just want to, they're saying.
All right, a touchdown wins it for Fauquier. A stop wins it for the Blue Devils. High snap. Deal gets it. Here's a stiff arm, and he's tackled. Finally, somebody makes a solo tackle on him, and it turns out to be number 21, Darnell Henderson. Henderson was just not going to be denied, Steve.
He wasn't. He came in, he grabbed on, and they were able to hold and keep Fauquier out of the end zone. Culpepper wins in overtime. And, Mark, I'm impressed by the way Fauquier coaches. They allowed him to go for it, and Culpepper stood proud, man. Big win for them.
Hey, but if Darnell Henderson doesn't make the tackle, who knows?
Yeah.
The whole game, we've been talking about how James Deal had made that first guy miss, or he made the first guy have to bring in reinforcements to bring him down. But in this case, Darnell Henderson got a hold of him, He refused to let go of him. He tripped him up, made the tackle. Biggest tackle of the game he made all night.
And what about building momentum? I know they got a game against Rock Ridge, but building momentum going into the fall season, Mark, when we hopefully we can get back to normal, be fans in the stands, and Culpeper has something to build on. And it's going to be fun watching them get back in the battlefield and renewing the rivalry with Eastern View.
Well, you know, and how cool.
That's my next big thing. That's our next big thing.
But how cool is to think that James Ford, the second-year man here, who missed last year coaching because of leukemia.
Right.
All right, he comes in this year. He gets a clean bill of health. He coaches his team to a position where they battled a talented Hanley team last week on competitive terms. Narrowly came up losing narrowly. And then tonight, they avenged the loss to Fauquier in thrilling fashion in overtime, and the defense came big for them on multiple occasions.
Big time. And what can you say, Mark, about Riley Harrison? I mean, he's the man of the game.
Well, where do we start? He's a homecoming king.
Yep.
He's a beast on defense. He's a hard-running player on offense. But a lot of his teammates stepped up tonight too. Austin Lynch played. Joseph Holland. You had Henderson making that tackle. And so many others. So, and you got to feel like this is such a huge.
Hibbert had a great
right. All these guys, I ain't leave out anyone. Right.
Yeah, a lot of them. We can go on and on.
And how big is it for this team and for the program to get a win like this?
Big, Mark. Going overtime to do it, and the way they did it, and the way they kept in the game, they could have gone in at halftime. Especially at the first quarter, hanging their heads down. Because Fauquier was kind of much moving up and down the field, but come out in the second half with a return with some renewed enthusiasm the way they came on the field, and they stuck with the program, believed in Coach Ford and what he was doing, and they just ran his game plan to perfection in the second half. And like I said, give it all Riley Harrison. I mean, you can just name them all. I mean, but he stands out as a player of the game, in my opinion, Mark.
Yeah, so it was a great, entertaining game. Congratulations to the Blue Devils and to the Falcons for certainly a very gutty effort tonight on their part, and really gutty and gritty to go for it on fourth down and say we're gonna win this thing.
That took
they
guts.
did. Took guts. So the Blue Devils once again win it in overtime, 13-10. Congratulations to the Blue Devils, Coach Ford and his staff. I guess the sad news for us, Steve, is that this is the end of the line until we come back in the fall, but we certainly had fun, and we know that we've had fun. We hope the viewing audience has enjoyed watching the Cyclones and Blue Devils this season.
I know they did, Mark, and like I said, I had fun, but now it just makes this summer really go by faster, because now we have it's just shortened time to back in August. They're back at it again, and looking forward to Culpeper moving into the Battlefield District, resuming some old rivalries, and see what's going on.
Well, Johnny's left with nothing but the moon to film, so we better get going here. Once again, final score, Bowman Field, 13-10, Blue Devils in overtime over the Falcons. Julie Wooten back in the studio, Johnny Krawczyk behind the camera, Steve Peacock. I'm Mark O'Connell saying thanks for listening and watching and supporting Blue Devils and Cyclones football this season. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe, and we look to see you again soon.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. Get back in the game. Culpeper Medical Center is home to UVA orthopedic specialists, providing world-class treatments for the joints, muscles, and bones of your home team. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.